An interesting video came out here recently where it was Sam Altman from OpenAI talking about how different age groups are using AI differently. So this is an observation that he's made, looking at the logs associated with ChatGPT usage. And I found it very interesting, so I wanted to share that with you and then us be able to talk about it and interact and really think about what this means and some future ideas associated with that. So here is the video clip where he explains this.
The sort of like generational divide on AI tools right now is crazy, and I think companies are just another symptom of that.
What are the cool use cases that you're seeing young people using with ChatGPT that might surprise us?
They really do use it like an operating system. They have like complex ways to set it up to connect it to like a bunch of files, and they have like fairly complex prompts memorized in their head, or like, in something where they paste in and out. And I mean, that stuff I think is all cool and impressive. And there's this other thing where like they don't really make life decisions without asking like ChatGPT what they should do. And it has like the full context on every person in their life and what they've talked about. And like the memory thing has been a real change there. But gross oversimplification. But like older people use ChatGPT as a Google replacement. Maybe people in their 20s and 30s use it as like a life advisor something, and then like people in college use it as an operating system.
Okay, so there he sort of breaks it up into three different groups, right? You have sort of the the younger people that are students and how they're using it. You have people that are in their 20s and 30s, and then you have people that are older. So let's talk first about people that are older. He's saying that a majority of people that are older are simply using ChatGPT like a search engine, as if it's a replacement for Google. So that is a pretty interesting, new, and powerful way that AI can be used. This wouldn't have been a good use of it, let's say a year ago, but here a few months ago, where it switched to having ongoing access to the internet, yes, it can definitely function as a very good search engine and provide you with that information that's current and relevant. So yeah, that's definitely a fine use. And it's interesting that that's how older people are using it. And it kind of makes sense because that's what they're used to, right? They're used to using Google. They grew up with Google. Google's been around for a long time. So that makes sense. And of course, they'll start to be able to use AI at a more advanced level as time goes on. But that is a powerful use. And now let's talk about people that are in their 20s and 30s, right? That's what he said, as far as using AI to help you make life decisions. And that's pretty powerful as far as making life decisions. And I started to think as far as, man, what are all the things that someone could use AI for? And yeah, I realize that I'm doing that right now. Of course, I'm much older than 20 or 30, but I'm very active as far as using AI. So I tend to use it in many different ways. And here recently, I did use ChatGPT where I was asking it specific questions, and then I found myself saying, what do you recommend I do given these situations and these conditions? What should I do? What should my next steps be? And again, I was sort of bouncing ideas off of it, and then I would sort of change the variables to see what it would say, and then keep going on with the conversation. So it's very powerful in that way, in that you can use it to help you. Now, I like to think that I'm a more advanced user so that I can understand, because I have AI literacy, that yeah, I shouldn't just talk to the AI. I also go and talk to peers and friends and relatives to get their opinions. But AI can definitely offer a nice and enhanced opinion because it can be very informative. So that's another big thing to think about is, hey, we can use it at this level to actually help us make big important decisions if we're using the AI appropriately, meaning that we're using something like an advanced prompt formula when we are putting in our prompts. So that means that we're thinking about aspects associated with the context, with the viewpoint that we want it to take, with the more advanced instructions, the reasons why we're asking this. We're feeding this into the AI so it can help us to make the best decision possible by giving us the best response, the best information in order to make our ultimate decision. But of course, we have to understand that we can't just blindly follow what the AI is doing. So again, that's AI literacy with critical thinking. Now, let's also think about what he said as far as younger people using AI. he said that younger people are using AI as an operating system. That was pretty interesting. And he explained that a little bit by saying that they were more advanced users and they were they were uploading files and then having advanced prompts that they would put in there and then use those files. And so yeah, again, that's AI literacy, right? That's being able to use it more effectively by understanding things like prompt engineering, using an advanced prompt formula, understanding that yes, you can attach files, so then you can ask it questions about the file, or you can tell the AI, hey, use information from this to answer this type of question or to do it in this type of style. A lot of advanced things that you can do by fully understanding the different mechanisms as well as the memory that AI has already. So a lot of different things associated there. So that's really important. And putting that all together as far as being able to use it like that as an operating system. And it's funny, when he described that, it made me think a lot more about Gemini as opposed to ChatGPT. Because remember, in Gemini, you can put up a bunch of files and have it use that as sort of an internal database to then answer questions or to come up with different answers. But you can do similar things with ChatGPT as well. The big thing there is understanding that and knowing that there's different ways to do that to limit hallucinations and to make it better. But underlining all of those things as far as the way that younger people are using it, middle 20, 30-year-olds and older people, the way that all those different age groups are using it, the key thing to maximizing those capabilities is AI literacy. So that's why we need to develop that so we can help our students to develop that so that we can use AI to the maximum effect to help us to accomplish more, as well as to use it effectively, efficiently, and ethically so that we don't violate problems or cause issues as far as giving away too much information, personal information, or violating policies or academic misconduct. So it's a matter of ensuring that we're properly developing our capabilities for the way that any age group wants to use it. What are your thoughts? Does this correlate? Again, this is coming from Sam Altman, so he would know as far as what he's seeing with OpenAI, but does this correlate with your thoughts as far as how you think that younger people are using it, or 20, 30-year-olds or older people? Does that match with what your experience has been? It loosely matches. I think more of the students I see aren't using it as sophisticated as he explains. But again, that's kind of a broad spectrum there. He just says anyone younger than 20. But a lot of the students I see are still sort of using it as Google and not using advanced prompt formulas. So again, it's a total mixture, but that was his opinion from his observations. But what are your thoughts? I'm interested in your observations. How has this been for you? And what do you think about this as far as different age groups and how they're using it? Okay, please let me know in the comments. Please like and share. Hit that subscribe button so that we can all continue to grow and benefit from learning from one another. And remember, learning is for life.